Good morning. These are your BYU-Idaho Radio morning headlines for Friday, May 30th, 2025. Thanks for listening. I'm Jill Clary. Many departments at BYU-Idaho have societies to help students meet fellow students and receive guidance in their educational and career journey. The Food Science Society is one of these societies. Here's the story. If you're a nutrition or food science student at BYU-Idaho, you might be interested in the Food Science Society. According to the Public Relations Officer of the Food Science Society, Christine Macavinta, the society is a great way for food science students to meet other students, make connections, and help each other.
Our goal is to help people understand opportunities in food science, as well as like internships, obviously job opportunities, and continuing education like master's degrees, as well as just connecting food science students together.
The society meets every other week to listen to speakers from the food science industry, learn about master's programs, and have fun talking about food.
Most recently, we had a fun activity where we talked about, food fact and fiction, discussing things like Red 40 and raw milk, pasteurization, microplastics, and stuff like that, while eating some of our favorite Red 40 foods, Red 40 maxing, if you will.
Macavinta says that because food science is a small major, students are aware of each other's projects, including food panels where people try food before it goes out on the market.
Because it is such a small major, people are very aware of each other's sensory panels that are going on or projects that are going on, and we just like to try to get involved and make sure that we know when we can help out with those people's sensory panels.
The Food Science Society meets every other week to allow interested nutrition students to join. To get involved, you can contact any of the food science faculty. You can also contact them on their Instagram page at BYU-Idaho Food Science Society. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Jill Clary. A Utah man was charged in a deadly I-15 shooting near Fort Hall. According to East Idaho News, a man from Utah has been charged in connection with a deadly shooting on I-15 back in February. Joaquin Jose Mendoza Gonzalez is now facing a second-degree murder charge with a deadly weapon enhancement. If he's convicted, he could be looking at life in prison. The shooting happened late at night on February 28. Around 10:30, a state trooper with Idaho State Police responded to a report of a white car pulled over with its hazards on near mile marker 85, just north of Fort Hall. When the trooper got there, he found a man in the driver's seat who had been shot several times in the head. The windshield had bullet holes, and investigators later found 9mm shell casings near the car. The man was identified as Alexander Jose Duran Pirela, a 27-year-old from Venezuela who was living in Mapleton, Utah on a visa. Police say Pirela had 3 phones on him. When they checked the phones, they found that the last call was made to Gonzalez. Investigators say there were 24 calls and 7 text messages between the two men just before the shooting. Gonzalez is scheduled to appear before Magistrate Judge James Howard Barrett Jr. or Robert Crowley on June 5th at 8:30 a.m. Early Thursday morning, the Pocatello Police Department was notified of a domestic disturbance at 1730 West Quinn Avenue. As they arrived, police officers became aware that 40-year-old Logan Smith had barricaded himself inside a mobile home, along with a female and 3 children. According to East Idaho News, the female in the house reported that the suspect was armed with both a gun and a machete. With the assistance of dispatch and crisis negotiators that had arrived on the scene, the female and 3 children were safely evacuated from the residence. Police obtained a search warrant for the mobile home. The negotiations, although lengthy and long, resulted in the peaceful surrender of the suspect, and he was taken into custody. 3 counts of aggravated assault were the charges that Smith was arrested on. No injuries took place as the incident concluded, and the area has since been reopened to the public. These have been your BYU-Idaho Radio morning headlines for May 30th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. More news, interviews, and great content are available on our podcast feed. Search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and more. You can also ask your smart speakers to play KBYI 94.3 FM. Have a great weekend. This is BYU-Idaho Radio, and I'm Jill Clary.